here. With me here, I have a governance expert, my friend Davis Okombo. He has been instrumental when you're talking about matters governance. Davis, let's go straight to it. Today's budget is seemingly the highest ever to be read in the National Assembly, and it's 4.2 trillion. What do you take of such a huge budget that is going to be read today?
Thank you very much, and I would like to add my voice to the legitimate concerns that people of Kenya have expressed through public participation about the budget for 2025-2026. There are concerns about the volume of this budget. It seems very ambitious. It seems to put a lot of pressure on the Revenue Authority to collect taxes that are going to support this budget. However, the fiscal deficit that is indicated in this budget will put a lot of pressure on the Revenue Authority, and if the past experiences are anything to go by, then Kenya Revenue Authority will not be able to meet the revenue targets. And if this happens, the government will begin to borrow money through domestic sources, and this will crowd out the public sector, the ordinary Kenyans, the Wanjikus and the Wanjirus. Their ability to access credit facilities are going to be undermined by the excessive borrowing that the government is going to undertake. Secondly, an analysis of the budget estimates clearly shows that Treasury has embarked on increasing the recurrent expenditure. It is estimated at about 16% of the GDP. Unlike the allocation for development, is this government trying to tell the people of Kenya that the payment of salaries and other recurrent expenditures are more important than building hospitals, building schools, and so on? We call upon the parliament today to seriously consider the issues that Kenyans have raised so that our concerns, our voices can be heard in the budget-making process.
Before I let you go, Davis, there is an important component that we must look at. That is the national debt and the taxation policy that the government is putting in place to ensure that they fund the national deficit. What is your take on that?
First of all, I would wish to clarify that the Treasury has embarked on what we call fiscal consolidation, which simply means reduction of fiscal deficit and also reduction of sovereign debt. I would like to say that certain measures that are being proposed, especially in the Finance Bill of 2025, undermine the very foundation of our constitution. For instance, in efforts to broaden the tax base, the amendments propose that Kenya Revenue Authority will have absolute powers, to look into private data of Kenyans without the due process of the law. This violates the Constitution and the Data Protection Act. Therefore, we want to say that as people of Kenyans, we are happy to pay the taxes, but we want to see the value for every shilling that we pay. Secondly, as we comply with our tax obligations, we want to ask the state to keep off from our private data. What interest do you have in our M-Pesa statements? What interest do you want to have on our bank statements without the due process of the law? And lastly, we are aware that the Treasury has allocated about 100 million shillings to the DCI to obtain a spyware. We ask ourselves as the people of Kenya, what has the investigation agency has to do with our social media accounts? What the hell do they want to do? Even as we mourn the death of Ojwang, may his soul rest in peace, due to the unauthorized, access to our social media, we call upon the parliament to propose an amendment to delete these clauses that are going to undermine our constitutional rights as the people of Kenya.
Thank you, Davis.